Welcome to Pain once again. Hey guys, welcome back to Javon Rule 16. I am your host Javon, and well, this is gonna be a terrible one for me, guys. I want to show you guys what true pain really looks like. So today we're doing another benchmark suite video. You're probably wondering, Javon, a benchmark suite of what? Well, if you read the title already, you probably already know what, so you probably won't be asking that question. But I'm gonna tell you it again anyway. So today we're running the i3-10105 with the Intel UHD 630 integrated graphics on modern games. That's not going to end well. Not at all. So because I'm doing this because normally whenever a new game comes out, I normally do my benchmarks on it and I post them on the channel, and I get a lot of my community always messaging me and asking, how does it run on integrated graphics? Can I get 30 FPS on integrated? Which is kind of crazy if I'm being honest with you, because like, dude, you see it struggling on a GPU. Why is it gonna run on integrated graphics? But so you know what? I wanted to eliminate that going forward, so I said yes. This is why I will do this. I will suffer through this, and guess what? I am definitely going to suffer through this. This is going to be slow. I am going to be tired. This is going to be a long video. I'm not ready, but regardless, we are going to do this anyway. So all the games are on an SSD. Once again, I have a boot drive for an SSD, and I have the games on another SSD. So there's no performance hiccups here. We're running with 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, speed at 2667 megahertz, which is what as fast as the motherboard supports, and the CPU will not be a bottleneck. So this will simply be because of the GPU. The UHD 630 is faster than the UHD 620, guys. Let me just put that out there. And it has a better CPU, so it'll run better than the UHD 620 is, okay, in every game. So we're just gonna say that, and we're gonna move on. So if you don't see a specific game, it didn't run. I'm just not even gonna put them in, okay? I tested everything, it just didn't run, okay? Let's move on to suffering and pain. Let's get into the first video. But once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. You won't enjoy this, trust me. But you guys, if you appreciate the video, which is really hard to do, because this is gonna be nuts, hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out on the channel. So first up, we have Atomic Heart. I want to preface I'm not using any low-end configs for any of these videos because I thought it would make it fair, because a lot of them don't have any. But with Atomic Heart at 720p low with the FSR set to ultra performance, I don't know why I have performance there, it runs somewhat decently at 15 FPS for integrated graphics standards. Is this game playable? No, because in certain areas this game gets quite demanding. Inside the buildings, obviously frame rates will be higher, but outside it's going to suck. Now warning, seizure alert. The next game has a lot of flashing lights, so just keep that in mind for anyone who is epileptic or anything of that nature. It gets bad.
Would you care for some more soda, comrade?
Forspoken. I'm not even gonna tell you what settings I'm running Forspoken on. Forspoken just doesn't run, man. Bro, like, no. Bro, no. 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 No!
How many of them are there?
I'm gonna say a party's worth. Let's dance.
Get out of the way.
Right on the money.
Marvel Spider-Man was interesting for me. Once again, it's that issue never got fixed, so that's not a thing that we can do. In case anyone's gonna like, can we fix this? No. But at 720p very low with the FSR set to ultra performance, I did notice we were getting over 14 and 15 FPS swinging around the city, which I had never gotten before when I first tested this out. I was very impressed by that. Once again, for integrated graphics standards, I chalked that up to the 32 gigabytes of RAM I have in the system, because as you can see, some of these games really utilize like practically all of the RAM, and trust me, you'll see it as we get further into the list. But yeah, Marvel Spider-Man, of course, once again, not playable. None of these games are, guys. What are we doing here? I feel like I have to keep driving home. These games aren't playable. But A Plague Tale Requiem, once again, that red glare never got fixed either. A 720p low with resolution optimizer set to ultra performance. That red glow effect happens with every integrated graphics that I've ever tested on the channel. That's just how it is. This game does not change. Listen, this has been years later. This is not getting fixed, guys. Once again, these are for those of you who keep asking me questions like, hey, can I run it with integrated graphics, Intel HD, 4GB of RAM? No.
It's good for you. I like your new home. It's a castle. All right.
Lucas, the Perfidious is invading my castle.
Yes, and I'm going to turn you into a beetle.
Amicia, he's too powerful.
Next up, we have Dead Island 2 once again.
Fixed.
Dude, that 32GB of RAM is really helping. A 720p low with FSR set to ultra performance once again. The game was running. I don't necessarily believe it stuttered. It didn't stutter or anything like that. I just can't play Dead Island. But we're using 14.7GB of RAM. Dude, this is not, none of these games are playable in this regard. They're just not playable, guys. And for those of you who want to suffer through it, yes, in that case, Dead Island 2 is playable. You can suffer through this, especially if you crank down the resolution a bit more. Resident Evil 4 Remake also kind of surprised me here. I believe when I first started this game, this had a lot of stutters in it, but at 960 by 540 low, I noticed that FSR Ultra Performance as well. I noticed that the game was much more stable here. The frame times weren't fluctuating that much or anything like that. Obviously, we were getting low frame rates regardless, but there was no stutter. I did notice that. Still not playable though, but I just wanted to put that out there. Lies of P next. Now, Lies of P actually surprised me a bit more. We're using 13GB of RAM. Lies of P with this Dark Souls-like combat still seemed somewhat playable. That frame time was ridiculous. At 720p low with FSR set to best performance, which is basically ultra performance, the game was averaging around 25 FPS, which I didn't think was the worst thing in the world. You know, like, it could be done. Could some of these games be played with these graphics? Yes, but I believe you'd need 32GB of RAM. Honestly, I kind of do. I think the 32 is really helping this. Hogwarts Legacy also surprised me. This game has come a long way. I remember the first time I tested this and I had to use some potato mod to play this game. At 720p low with FSR set to ultra performance, the game runs around 16 to 17 FPS on average, and there was no stuttering. I noticed that was the main thing for me. The game doesn't stutter, but look at the amount of RAM it uses so that it doesn't stutter. That is wild to me. 24, I've never seen my RAM go that high before. 24GB of RAM just to play it at around 15 FPS. But hey, it doesn't stutter. This is actually a playable experience. I thought that. I was in Hogsmeade just now. I can't really complain about that. And finally, we have the Final Fantasy VII Remake without the mod, so obviously 720p low. It runs terribly without the mod. Once again, I wanted to show you guys everything natively. Conclusion time. Can any of these games run on UHD 630s? It depends on how badly you want to play these games. If a person actually comes from a graphics card, no, this is terrible. Don't do this to yourself. It took me hours to get this video done, by the way, because these games took forever to load in. I had to compile shaders. It was a nightmare. But regardless, that's what I do for the low-end community, man. I show you games that you know you probably shouldn't be trying to play on integrated graphics. But hey, we had a proper CPU, so it was completely on the GPU, and everything struggled, which is unsuspecting. Well, you know, I said unsuspecting, that's not unsuspecting. It was obvious that that would happen. And yeah, but once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Please subscribe for my suffering, and I will see you guys on the next one. Hopefully next time I do a proper video that doesn't regard me playing a bunch of games at 10 FPS the entire time. But that is the low-end gamer lifestyle. Oi, oi, oi!